Hello and welcome to another episode of the Google Business Buzz. This is Henry and I'm with my brother Ajay. We've got some big updates, especially for advertisers using local services ads. As we all know, Google continues to iterate, continues to change and improve on this platform. And who better than Ajay, our LSA guru, to walk us through this very important update. Ajay, how are you doing?
Henry, I'm doing fantastic. What's up, Henry? What's up, everyone? It's great to be here again. Absolutely massive news pertaining to not only local services ads, but its brother platform, organic platform, Google Business Profile. Here's what's going on. By November 21st, businesses must have a GBP, Google Business Profile, in order to run local services ads. That's the meat of it, guys. That is absolutely massive. For all the years that local services has been on here, GBP has never been a strict requirement. You needed, one review to get by for most industries on local services ads. You need a handful more reviews for certain industries like roofers, but you've never needed the GBP. And now all of a sudden, several years later, your LSA is not going to run if your GBP is not verified. So
Hmm.
massive, massive, massive implications. Henry, what is your first thought seeing this, man?
Well, it's something that I believe we saw indications for with different updates that Google has been running. First, we saw that local pack, when the local pack shows up underneath LSA, underneath Google Ads, that more businesses button takes you to a pro list, a local service ads pro list link. Very different to what we used to see, where it would take you to the Google Maps. Now you actually have to click on that Maps tab to get to the actual Google Maps platform, which is a completely different platform. Right now, we saw Google merge reviews. Google said LSA reviews and Google Business Profile reviews are the same. In the beginning, right, we're always able to connect the GBP reviews and port them onto the LSA, but then you could also specifically request reviews to LSA. Google removed that ability. Now it's just the GBP and that's going to port over to LSA. We've been saying this, and you, Jay, specifically have been, championing that to educate the client on getting reviews on GBP more than the LSA, right? You always saw ahead and these indicators. Now, what does this new update mean for advertisers?
Oh, dude, yeah, it means quite a lot. This has heavy implications. It means that obviously, if you're running your local services ads, you're one of the lucky ones. You don't have a GBP and you've been getting that call volume. Let's say LSA just came for towing and automotive. So let's say you're a tower right now. You're in, you're running your market. You're getting hundreds of calls, as many as you want. Come November 21st, that LSA call volume, your visibility at the top is going to disappear. It also means that broadly speaking, 10,000 feet up in the sky, looking at the channel, looking at small businesses, it means your GBP management just got that much more important. Henry has been championing on podcast to podcast how GBP is the organic foundation, that stable base of the pyramid. And it's always been important to keep that up there for your visibility across tons of directories. But now it's even more important because guess what? If your GBP gets unverified, not only do you get taken off not only do you potentially lose visibility on the maps layer if you're dealing with issues there, but now you can be taken off a second layer of Google search. You can be taken off of the LSA layer. So you're potentially losing your customer actions from GBP and you're potentially losing your local services ads calls as well. So you're losing visibility in two places if something goes wrong with the GBP. And yeah, man, I'm glad you brought up the GBP reviews because that's always been awkward. It's been so awkward to me that for 7 years now you've been able to, or around that time, you've been able to get reviews from two places, from LSA, GBP, and Google themselves says, hey, it's a one-way street. The reviews will flow from GBP but to LSA, but not the other way around. And so if it's a one-way street, why do you allow them in two places? It's been weird, right? And we've been on the right side of that fence, driving our clients towards GBP using review cards and other tools, QR codes to help them get those reviews in. But now it's like Google is putting the finality behind that. Hey, your LSA reviews no longer a thing. All of your reviews are going to be consolidated. Consolidation is the key word, managed through GBP, and you hit it. And like you said, man, it's just evidence of everything merging together, everything consolidating, eliminating redundancy, making things clear. I'm glad they're cleaning out house, Henry, and yeah, it has a ton of implications for our small to medium sized enterprises. So, where is your mind at in all of this?
I'm thinking it's going to impact a lot of advertisers out there very, very much. It's going to make things a lot more difficult. People are used to eating off of LSA, and now without an affiliated GBP, it's like taking food out of their plates, right? It's really a big deal. Luckily for anyone on OMG, on OMG National, on one of our products, we've been educating our clients and we've been taking steps towards mitigating this issue, right? We have our Google Calls Advisor product, which is both LSA and GBP, right? And this handles it completely. The big thing about Google Business Profile is that it's not the simplest listing to manage. Google has made substantial updates in how they verify businesses. And in 2024, it's very seldom that you see a postcard verification. It's mostly always a video verification, and getting that to go through their process is also a difficult thing, because you have to understand that anything can affect the way that they see that video. Yeah, as a business owner, when you do the video verification, they're expecting you to show the location, your work tools, the actual, like they even want to see you opening the door to the location or to your work truck in some instances. But if you get a face in that video, it's going to get rejected. They're not going to process it. The phones, right? I have an iPhone. A lot of people have Samsungs, and by default, the resolution on the cameras are high. If you don't bring those resolutions down and you upload a video file to that Google Business Profile video verification option, it might not finish processing. It might not fully upload because of the amount of data in that file, right? We have to know that before we do the video verification, you have to go into the settings, reduce the resolution on your video so that you don't have these issues. And prep, you have to prep. We'll help you. We have our DMSs, our digital marketing specialists, which are completely trained and very and veterans at this point in guiding our clients, even the most tech illiterate client, which we love. We are here to help. Well, while we do the tech, while we do the marketing, they can go back and dedicate the time on their business, which is where they need to be. But that's really where my mind goes first and foremost. The difficulty in verification. Then when you mention suspensions, like that's a huge deal, and it's another avenue that you have to think about with support and what documents you need to give to support, and you only have one shot at it, and the clock starts ticking once you start filling out that appeal, and you have 60 minutes to upload the document that you need to submit that appeal. So everything needs to line up. And if you don't do that the first time, Google support's most likely not going to process your appeal, and you're going to have to get them to allow you to make another GBP. But well, with the proper documentation, it's very, very difficult, the back and forth. As you know, and Jay, we're Google Premier partners. We have an elevated access to support, and even in those instances, it can get hairy. But those are the two things.
Well said, brother. Took the words right out of my mouth. From a product side, we have seen this coming for a while now, not to toot our own horns, but we designed these solutions, some of our products specifically around this problem. It's like, hey, GBP, LSA, let's package them together. Let's deal with these issues head on. We see that they have implications concerning one another. If you lose your GBP reviews, your LSA will get impacted. Now that's just even more magnified. That's even more of a bigger deal. If you lose your GBP altogether, if you have trouble getting your GBP up in the first place, and guys, this is a learning, this is an evolution. We're all growing and we're all, taking note of what Google is doing here. But even I'm learning things in this process. I learned from Henry and his team about the verification and the issues, the rate of issues with the video verification and how promptly we're turning those around for our clients. And so I know our clients are being well taken care of, but I'm worried about those people that are not, don't have someone like us in their corner, because now your call volume can potentially disappear. Not to be an alarmist, but it's true. If you need those leads to eat, like you said, Henry, that's food off of your table. So to anyone watching, listening, if you need someone that's not even to put in a plug in here, but here's a plug. If you want someone that genuinely lives, eats, breathes this, someone that cares about you and knows what they're doing, come talk to us, because yeah, these verification issues, there are nuances in them. There are sometimes headaches to solve, the suspensions. And if you lose one, you can lose the other at this point. Because if your GBP goes down, heck, your LSA is going to go down too. So this is what we do. This is what we're about. This is what we specialize in. And it's about getting the news out to you guys. And it's about making sure that everyone understands what's going on, because the smartest kind of customer for us, the one that's watching this, the one that's taking note, is one that's going to, work with us, honestly, because we can get these things resolved quickly, expediently. We have the connections, we have the insight, we have the experience, and it's about keeping people up longer. Before you even get into the product methodology, what does it do? Any good product, the base of it is going to be, can we get out there and be exposed as much as possible? It's an exposure methodology. Before you get into the fancy stuff, the bidding, the budgets, um, the timing, it's just going to be, can we stay up there, get up there and stay up there? And so exposure is a huge part of that. We are watching for this. We are well attuned to it, and yeah, it's going to have huge implications. So what it also means is that people are going to be needing help more and more as you get to on or around November 21st. More people, you're going to be typing in, why is my local services ads not working? The call stopped coming in. Why is my Google business profile? What does this mean? Is it, suspended? Is this a soft suspension, a hard suspension? Google's making me do this video call thing. So we're going to get all kinds of traffic, and we're eager and we're ready to be helpful and get you up and going. So that's where my mind goes, brother, is to, just like yours, to
Mhm.
um, help these people and do some good for you guys watching, listening, and dialed in. So
Absolutely. Ajay, let me read exactly what Google says in their article, and I want you to react to it, right? This is
okay,
real time. We
let,
didn't even talk about this.
let's do it,
All right.
man.
First thing. If your account is matched to an existing business on Maps, you will need to verify your Google business profile in order to continue serving local service ads. What do you think about that?
Going back to what we said about trust and transactions, they want credibility. They want you to be who you say you are and have that be consistent across platforms. They're probably tired of, we talked a lot, guys, about how you can use reviews from GBP, connect that to LSA. They're probably sick of people, grabbing the wrong GBP, grabbing a GBP with, 2,000 reviews that maybe isn't theirs. Under the old system, you used to be able to skate by doing shady stuff like that. And now they're enhancing their credibility, and they want to make sure that your address is the same, that you are who you are on GBP and you are where you are, rather, excuse me, on LSA. So to me, brother, it's all about trust and consistency, and making sure that we talked again about eliminating redundancy, about how the multiple reviews in multiple places, multiple addresses in multiple places, and all of these things kind of cleanly coming together with uniformity. That's what's happening. Two are becoming one, no matter how you slice it. That's aggressive, but I said it here. These platforms are strangely, bending together and morphing together and becoming more cohesive as one. And That's a trend you picked up on first years ago with the Pro list. And we'll show screenshots of that up on your screen as well to show you guys what we're talking about with the Pro list. But LSA and GBP coming together is nothing new. You're just seeing kind of its final form start to take place. And I have even wilder predictions. While you let me go on this little ramble here, I think that we're going to see a universe, man. Quote me on this. We'll revisit this 2 to 3 years where you can make changes on one side, like the GBP, and those changes can maybe impact the LSA or vice versa. So Google is going to move through, through this evolution where it's going to change the way we make changes to these platforms, both LSA and GBP. And I don't know what that final world is going to look like, that final iteration, but I know that that we're probably looking at a world in which changing one will change the other. And you're already seeing a specific example of that with the addresses needing to line up. And now from the support side, if you need an address change on LSA, you can point to the verified GBP's address and match that. So these two are banging on each other. These two are taking form with each other, taking shape with each other, and becoming one. That's kind of thematic of what's going on here.
You
That was
know, you
bold.
know, we I think you're right, and I think we can see something very similar with restaurants. And if you type in like food.google.com, right, you can see all of the restaurants in your area and order online. All of that is controlled on the Google Business Profile. So it's a different basically it's a different platform, right? It's a whole different platform that syncs up with the GBP and Google Maps and also Google Ads. You can run ads through it. So it's Google doing what they do best, right? They're banging on all of their platforms and basically consolidating. But I would wager that's going to happen too, and I would wager they're going to bring website ranking into the fold in some way, right? Right now on LSA, you almost don't see a URL, a link, nothing like that. But in the future, I mean, it's who knows. But like I've always argued, the website is like a storefront, right? And when people click on a website, it's like looking through the window going into the store, and it can be a valuable uh, lead if your website is set up properly to nurture that lead. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
You're a sharp guy, man. You're a sharp guy. That is, LSA has had the website field for years now, since inception, but it won't show for all verticals. So if you're a plumber, your website won't necessarily show on the LSA profile. So why is your website going in the LSA profile if it won't show externally to potential customers? And what's behind that? So I think you're right. I think that's a sound prediction. Honestly, another thing we didn't touch on that I think has merit here is and you touched on the theme, which is the reserve with Google, the scheduling function on the scheduling platform on GBP. We talked about how booking for LSA has always been awkward. You've kind of had to go through third-party providers, House Call Pro, and to name a few, Service Titan. And we saw news earlier that they're integrating Reserve by Google to eliminate redundancies, and that's GBP's booking platform. So let's wrap it all up. What are you seeing here? You're seeing the reviews. You're seeing them get rid of LSA reviews and bang on the GBP for reviews. You're seeing the booking kind of consolidate. You're seeing the very status of the GBP listing itself, it needing to be verified in order to keep your LSA running. That's a direct dependency. It doesn't get any more direct than that. And so you're seeing all these dots that if you just stitch them together, it paints a very clear world that Google wants you to be on, both and have your information fleshed out on both, be fully verified on both, be who you say you are, be consistent, be real, be authentic. And yeah, what happens on one is
Wow.
gonna influence the other. So crazy times.
Dude, crazy times. I just thought about like how flushed out the reserve by Google or with Google is on the restaurant end. I've used it many times and it's perfect, right? You get an email, through that email, you can even cancel the reservation that you made on the GBP, right? It's so fleshed out. You can order food through there using your Google Pay. Everything's synced up. Google has your credit card, your debit card information already saved, right? They make the payment portal, they control everything. You never have to leave a Google platform to basically get your food, right? And ordered and delivered directly to your home if you want to, or just make a reservation and then use Google Maps to get to the place, and then the attribution is right there. Google is everything.
Great user experience. And I think they're trying to bring some of that to this LSA GBP world we've got going on where that there are some redundancies. So I think ultimately that
Hmm.
Henry, they're trying to create a better user experience for everyone involved. And I think that they're trying to make customers trust the results. And yeah, long story short, guys, if you have a GBP, it's always been important. We can't stress this enough. It's even more important now. You can lose your leads, you can lose your action, your activity. So work with someone you trust. If you heck, if you don't want to work with us, fine, but work with someone you do trust that is reputable. Hint, hint, we're really good at what we do and we care about you and we care about
Yeah.
your business, and we're here to educate you, So,
That's
um,
right. That's right. And like Ajay said, if you don't want to use OMG, please use the partner directory. You can find us there. You can find many other very reputable businesses that do what we do, or you can do it yourself. This is available for everybody. There's really no secret sauce. The thing is that we live this and breathe this. I wouldn't expect to defend myself in court because I'm not a lawyer, but I do know about marketing for lawyers. So, with that, thank you everybody for joining us again. And we hope this was educational, informative, and entertaining.
thank you guys. Take care.
Bye bye, everybody.